Hey everybody, welcome to The Bottom Line. I'm Michael Noland. Tonight we're going to be talking about Journey. As most of you know, Journey is on its last legs as an official band, so to speak. They're doing their final tour. They're having all kinds of problems with Arnel Pineda's vocal capability. Some say that auto-tuning is going on in the background. We know that Schon has plans to continue to tour Journey music, not as the rock band Journey, but as Neil Young and his new entity called Journey Beyond. Now, in a recent article on UCR, Jonathan Cain has claimed that for sure this is his last year and that he's pretty much fed up with the constant touring. As a matter of fact, he says that really the only reason he's doing it this year is for the fans, and that has become not enough for him to continue. Now, he goes on to say in that interview that it is 2 on, 1 off, 2 on, 1 off kind of tour. They do 2 shows, take a day off. Usually that involves traveling and everything, and then 2 more shows. Not only that, but he's complaining they don't have anybody to open up for him, that this is a 2.25 hour show, a show that he claims is really taking it out on the band. Now, we've talked about how other members of the band have taken over vocal duties to lighten the load for Arnel. And Cain even goes on to say that one of the main reasons that he doesn't want to do it anymore is because, well, the albums are not charting. First of all, my question is, what albums? You've done 3 albums since 2008. That's 3 albums in 18 years. You know, if Journey really wanted their albums to sell, they might actually put them out a little bit more often. Let their fans know that they're making brand new music, because the first of those last 3 albums was half new music and half re-recorded hits. I think that did more damage to this band than anything else. I'll give you an example. We've been talking a whole lot about Paul McCartney. Take a look at the man. In his 80s, he has still managed to put out a minor masterpiece, let alone a brand new album. You know, when a band becomes nothing more than a touring device to make money, the writing is on the wall, folks. I've said this many times, and sometimes people just don't get it. You know, bands who have hits tour those hits, and there is profit to be made, but it's also a death knell of sorts. I've always believed that a band's soul is in its ability to keep creating, to evolve. And yet Journey is an excellent example of a band that has done nothing like that at all. Now, their last 2 albums did have all new material, but it was clear to fans that the heyday was done. Some critics even bringing out that the albums were recorded well, but the band had gotten past that point where they were seen as a valid creating band. But many fans felt that the band was far beyond their creative peak and just lost interest. Now, what do you do with a fan base that has lost interest in you ever creating anything new, but will show up en masse at your concerts? Well, obviously, that's a jukebox-oriented audience, and I think it's a mistake for bands, especially classic rock bands, to submit themselves to such an experience. You've got to keep creating, folks. Journey gave what many feel is some of classic rock's greatest albums, and it's been a tick and a half since they've given us anything that the fan base in general gets excited about. Which gets me back to Neil Schon's upcoming venture, Journey Beyond. You know, something tells me everything isn't going to go the way that Neil thinks it should. Now, I've been waiting for a while for band members to make statements concerning Neil's plans, and so far nothing has come out. It seems that he is free and clear to do exactly what he's intending to do, which is to provide a new audience with a jukebox experience, a band set up to play all of Journey's hits. And on top of that, him getting away with calling this new project Journey Anything has got me doubtful that he'll pull it off in the end. But if the man goes unchallenged by former band members, something tells me this tour will be about as successful as recent Journey tours. And who knows, maybe the project will sound better. If you are a concert goer that likes to just go to concerts where the band supplies you 2 hours of hits, I would imagine that Neil Schon's new project is something you're gonna get excited about. And since it is a brand new project, Neil can bring on whoever he wants and can bring out a band that can replicate that classic Journey sound better without the walking wounded. Now, the article I read sounds like Jonathan Cain is preparing to ride off into the sunset with his preacher wife and to sing God's fine word in the future. More power to him if that's his creative base. It's not my style of music, but I wish him well. At least it sounds like he wants to create something new, whereas Neil is quite happy to continue providing us with the same old, same old. Now, I want to hear from you guys. I want to know what you think. Journey has never been one of my most favorite bands. I have to admit that. I bought their first 2 or 3 albums back in the day. I loved them then. But when they brought Steve Perry on and started directing themselves more to a top 40 based kind of sound, I lost interest. But I know a lot of you are fans of their best music. Hell, there are even a few Journey songs with Steve Perry that I like. But what do you guys think? Are you going to be happy with this new project called Journey Beyond? What do you think about Jonathan Cain leaving the band permanently? He announced this last year, but now he's clarifying why. And what do you guys all think that this means for the future, if there is one, for Arnel Pineda? Okay, folks, that's the video for today. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please give me a thumbs up. That always helps with views. And if you haven't subscribed to the channel, that's easy to do. All you have to do is hit that subscribe to the tribe button, tap that top bell icon, and you'll be notified of all my future videos. All right, folks, I'm Michael Noland. This is The Bottom Line, but don't you ever forget, we are the tribe.